was talking to Israel. He just said he trained himself to deal with pressure. He loves the pressure. He's created what he is. What have you seen in him to make him such a big star now?
Yeah, that's a fact. To do what these guys do and these girls do is, to be a professional fighter. There's nothing. Everybody that goes out and competes and performs in sports is part of a team. You always want to perform at the highest level and everything else. But when you lose as a team. And in this sport, you have the potential to literally get your ass whooped in front of the whole world by yourself. There's no other sport like this. There's nothing like it. That's why I always say, fighters are the most famous athletes on earth. You look at Tom Brady, right? Massive star here in the U.S., but in a lot of parts of the world, people don't know who he is. Does anybody, you guys, this is a very specific crew here. You guys cover fighting, but Bruce Lee died in 1971. Kids still know who he is today. Fighting is different than any other sport.
Along those lines, Weili has gone through a brutal training camp, obviously, kind of moving around, trying to figure things out. I guess what does it say about her to fight through this and to get here and get ready to fight?
Yeah, I think it works out good for her, though, because you need to be here, training in China, you need to get to Vegas early, acclimate to the weather, acclimate to the time. I think it was much better for her to come in early anyway.
It seems like every UFC event, there's a story behind the event. What's the story this weekend?
Listen, it's hard for me not to talk about the co-main event. I love this fight so much. This is one of my favorite fights this year. You have Joanna Jedrzejczyk, who is, held the belt for a long time and defended it, and is one of the nastiest females on planet Earth, going against the first ever Chinese champion, Weili Zhang, who in her own right is. Have you watched some of her videos training? They had a video of her punching the other day. And I'm telling you right now, she throws punches better than 99.9% of the men that I've ever known in my entire career. She, these two right now are, if you look at Joanna, Joanna's out at the beach and, is living the lifestyle. Then you watch Weili Zhang's posts on Instagram, hardcore training, nonstop training. All she thinks about is fighting. It's fascinating. I love this fight. You could dive in deeper into the stories of that fight too.
What about the main fight though between Yoel?
What about what?
The main fight, how excited are you for that?
The main event? I'm excited for the main event, but I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I'm so into the co-main event. I can't express to you how much I love this fight.
Dana, the comments that Mike Tyson made last week that I know you comment on, is there anybody in the UFC that you think has that attitude that Tyson had back in the day that he was talking about in that video?
Yeah, I think they all do. I think all the fighters do. That's why Tyson is like the most worshipped fighter of all time. You ask any fighter in any style of fighting, they'll tell you that they love Tyson. And Tyson is such a unique individual, man. There's nothing like him, and there never will be again.
When he's saying I was an annihilator and everything, can you translate that to this sport? And was there anybody that you feel like embodies that attitude now that's currently competing?
Yeah, I think that on some level, all the fighters have to have that type of mentality. There's a lot of fighters in the UFC that have more of a martial arts type of approach to fighting, but you have to have some of that Tyson in you to be a professional fighter.
For a guy like Adesanya, how much did you kind of speak to the it factor that he has? Seems like he's very charismatic, to be a star. What do you think about him and just having the it factor of kind of carrying the UFC ascent?
Yeah, he does. He's a very, first of all, he's a good-looking kid. He speaks really well. He can dance. He's got a lot of personality. But at the end of the day, the thing that matters is he can fight. And this Romero fight makes him even more interesting because he could be sitting around waiting right now for Costa to get ready, and that's the fight that should happen. He wants to fight Romero because he feels like his legacy won't be complete without this Romero fight, which is a very dangerous fight, and nobody wants to fight Romero.
And how about Zhang? Just how big is she for the UFC brand? I mean, being a Chinese champion, obviously there's a few people that live in China. So
You can take all the things that make her special, first Chinese champion, female, which people love right now, but at the end of the day, she is a gangster. She is focused on being the best, and I love this fight, man. I love this fight with her and Joanna so much. I literally can't wait for Saturday for this fight. That when these two start walking in, I'm gonna be going crazy like a giddy little fan. I'm telling you, I can't wait for this fight.
Any concern on your part with Joanna's jumping up and down in weight? And that tends to not go well for a lot of fighters when they move up and down like that. Any concern that she, especially going down, she's had trouble making weight before?
Yeah.
That might be an issue.
Yeah, Joanna's a pro, but I'm sure she's laser focused right now. She looks like she's in phenomenal shape. From what I've seen, because I keep watching these two on Instagram because I'm so into this fight. And Joanna looks unbelievable. You look at her training footage, she looks good. These two have been talking to each other nonstop. They do not like each other. It's a fun fight, man.
What do you think is going to be the message, not only from Zhang after the fight, but from the UFC, that she's fighting and training more besides the coronavirus crisis? What's going to be the message of the UFC too?
What's that question?
What's the message about Zhang, right? So that's
Zhang.
about the fact that she's fighting even with the coronavirus happening.
Oh, well, everybody's fighting with the coronavirus happening. I mean, everybody's fighting. This thing started as a Chinese problem and has turned into a global problem. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out throughout the rest of this year. I don't know. Yeah, this isn't really a Chinese problem. It's a global problem.
Do you guys have to take any precautions as far as large gatherings and that sort of thing? Like everybody keeps saying they have plans. MLB's talking about it. NFL's talking about it. You guys have big events. Do you have worries or concerns going forward about that?
About what?
Corona.
Oh, yeah. I think we all should. I mean, this is this is a serious problem, and it's definitely going to. I think that we're already working. We're looking at how this will affect our business this year and how we battle this thing moving forward. We're already working on that. We've been working on this a month and a half ago.
Last week, Davidson didn't make weight and he won the fight. How is the situation right now with the flyweight division? The title is still vacant. Is there any chance that Cejudo will get the title back?
How does him not making weight affect the division? Yeah. So Mick flew in today, and we're supposed to have a matchmaking meeting, but right after this, I have to fly to LA for some meetings. And tomorrow, we'll have a matchmaking meeting. We're going to start working on all that stuff. Listen, that was a great fight. It was a great fight. Absolutely, I think the headbutt had a lot to do with the knockout, too. Not taking anything away from him. It was a great fight. But I think you have to do that fight again. First of all, he didn't make weight. Joe still fought him. There was a headbutt, so a lot of controversy in that fight. But it was a great fight. Both guys came to fight. I'm sure you guys know how I feel about him not making weight. But we'll do it again. They both deserve it.
Will be a new title fight with them?
Will it be a title fight? Yeah.
At your weigh-ins, it seems there's always chaos at weigh-ins. I always want to know, what is going through your mind? When the fighters are getting into it, when the weigh-ins start to go south, what's going through your mind? You're excited because there's going to be media attention, and your mind's going, oh, what are these guys?
No, I don't ever think of any of that stuff. Listen, these guys have been away from their families for a long time. They cut weight. It's the day before the fight. There's a lot of, anxiousness and anger and, a lot of stuff going through these guys' minds going into the day before the fight and the stare downs. My job is to make sure they don't touch each other and nothing happens leading up to the fight. Because the last thing we need is these guys getting into it or somebody touching somebody the commission getting involved with it, like you just saw what happened with Fury and Wilder. That's my job, and that's what I'm there to do.
Would you ever, I mean, look at you. You're in physical great shape. You're a big guy. Would you ever? Vince McMahon was 53.
Thank you, sir.
Vince McMahon was 53 when he first got in the ring. You're younger than Vince McMahon. Would you ever get in the octagon?
No, hell no. I battle to get on a treadmill every day. Believe me, days of me doing anything are over. Long gone. Wait till you hit 50. Come back and tell me what you think about fighting when you're 50.
Wait till you hit 60.
Yeah, I don't. I can wait.
Dana, can you, you mentioned Adesanya has the it factor. Sean O'Malley seems to be that same kind of guy. How do you think the fans are going to respond to him? He's been away for 2 years. Do you think he'll still have the same kind of bounce that he had at that time?
He's an exciting fighter. That's why we made him the main event on ESPN. He's an exciting fighter. People love him, and yeah, I'm excited for that fight too.
When you look at your drug testing program, obviously a lot of good has come out of it, taking PEDs out of the sport. But here, it cost a guy, an innocent guy, 2 years of his career. How do you reconcile that with
We're continuing to learn so much, not just guys, the girls, and all kinds of crazy stuff is happening. The testing is so good that it's there's been some problems too. You got to take the good with the bad. To try to clean up the sport, you got to take the good with the bad.
And he seemed to be cool with, like, hey, I had sponsors that stayed with me and everything. But I have to think if he had fought, he would not only would have made Fight Purses, but he'd have been a bigger star and he would have made more in sponsorship money.
He was supposed to.
The cost of this is probably untold.
He was supposed to be one of the featured guys on one of the big Conor fights. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
In terms of his style, entertaining style, I mean, do you think that is it more his look and the way he talks and everything, or is it his style of fighting? He goes those crazy moves and all that kind of stuff. What is it that can you put your finger on that makes him so big?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you can never really put your finger on what makes somebody a star and what doesn't. His fight on the Contender Series, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I want to say it did 4 million or something like that. He's got like 4 million. That's why we put him. I think he was a co-main event on one of the shows right after that, and that pulled a big number, and we knew he was the guy. So we'll see how he does on Saturday.
Do you think there'll be any backlash at all on him, like with people, anti-PED people?
Listen, no, I don't.
This is unrelated. Hopefully, it doesn't kill any questions. But I know you're paying attention. Is Brady coming to Vegas?
I'm actually, you know how the week of the fight I go live with celebrities every week. I go live with Brady tomorrow. So.
Are you gonna ask him?
Sure, I'll ask him. Trust me, I've been terrorizing Brady. If you ever rob a bank with somebody, you want to do it with Brady. This guy doesn't. He doesn't say to anybody. I know I've been trying to get him. Wahlberg. I know that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck have been terrorizing. I mean, everybody from Boston's been terrorizing this guy, and he's not saying anything. But obviously, if he doesn't sign with Boston, which is where I would like him to be, hopefully he comes to Vegas.
You mentioned you're flying to LA this afternoon. You have the fights on Saturday. Come Sunday, the dust settles. What do you do?
I'm flying to New York on Sunday.
Oh my.
Yeah, I got to go to New York on Sunday with Ari, and we're speaking at some conference.
What do you do to relax here in Las Vegas? How do you unwind?
I hang out with my kids, or I go play cards. It's like the two things that I do. Yeah.
I think you have your Contender Series. This may seem like an oddball question, but do you ever think of UFCing with the stars? Kind of like Dancing with the Stars, but celebrities doing fighting?
Yeah, I know people love that stuff, but that's kind of goofy. That's not my thing.
Forget pitching.
Yeah. I'm into like the best in the world or potentially the best in the world fighting. I'm not really into the goofy gimmick stuff. People love it though.
Yeah. Do you have a fight for Conor lined up now?
No, not yet.
Is he still on for July or?
Yeah, no, he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's either. I think he's going to. I mean, the fight's coming up with Khabib. See how this thing plays out and then go from there. But nothing yet from him.
In your opinion, what would be the earliest that a Conor versus the winner of 249 would be?
Probably in the fall.
Fall?
Khabib and Tony is still on right now, right?
Huh?
Khabib and Tony is still on right now.
Yeah.
We're just waiting.
Yes.
You just
Don't
announced-
jinx it, huh?
You just announced also Aldo and Henry Cejudo in São Paulo. How excited are you for that fight?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, listen, both these guys want that fight really bad, and I'm sure it's going to be a good one. If you're Cejudo, man, you want to take on a legend like Jose Aldo. I get it. I totally get it. I know why he wants that fight so bad.
A lot of people were just criticizing because Aldo is coming off a loss.
A lot of people are what?
Or criticizing it because Aldo came off the loss.
I don't give a criticize it. If you don't like that fight, don't watch it.
Do you think
That's it. It's that simple, right?
fair to somebody like Peter Yan, though, who's won whatever he's won in a row?
Listen, Peter Yan is on track to have a very stellar career, and someday Peter Yan is going to be up where Aldo is, and people are going to want to fight him. It's like this Yoel Romero thing. You know what I mean? He wants to fight Yoel Romero. You know why? Because Yoel Romero's a bad. That's why. Jose Aldo has been a bad his whole career, and a guy like Cejudo wants to fight him. You know? Instead of criticizing, you should respect that. The fact that he wants to fight Jose Aldo. You know? Cejudo isn't a guy running around looking for easy fights. He's not like, oh, I want this guy or that guy. And coming off the fight that he just fought to win his second belt, and the way that he won it, this is not a guy looking for easy fights. And it would be one thing if you had a champ that was like trying to duck people and trying to, look for easier guys. That is not Henry Cejudo. Say what you want about Henry Cejudo, you know what I mean? If you don't like him, you don't like his personality or the things that he does, this guy does not look for easy fights. And he wants Jose Aldo. And Jose Aldo's a dangerous guy. And you can also, is anybody here that would say, well, Jose Aldo lost his last fight, like it was a blowout, like he shouldn't have been there. No way in hell. That fight was razor thin. Some people had Aldo, and some people had it the other way. So it's not like it was a fight where you're like, come on, Dana. You know what I mean? He lost that fight.
You got that criticism for this fight with Romero losing 2 in a row in 3 or 4.
Right.
But I wanted to see if you could comment on this. Romero has spent the 3 losses. He was fight of the night in the 3 losses that he had.
And all real guys.
Right.
They fought all real guys, top 5 guys.
And so I guess, my question would be, what does that say about Romero? Is it good about Romero that he's in fight of the night that he's losing, or is there something that he's missing that he needs to kind of get himself over the hump?
I think the fascinating thing about when you talk about Yoel Romero and losing these fights, when you talk to the guys he fought, let them tell you the story of how the fight played out. Every time they hit him, it hurt them. They said it's like literally fighting a piece of concrete, and nobody that's ever fought him wants to fight him again. They don't want to fight him again. And those are the type of things that would make a guy who's the champ say, I don't need that. Right? I'll wait for Costa, and I'll take the mandatory fights that I need to take. He's opting in to fight Yoel. If you don't like that, you're not a fan of fighting, and you probably shouldn't watch this fight anyway. You're probably not the guy to be watching this fight if that's not the kind of shit you're into. And it's the same thing with the Aldo fight. Every fight that we make isn't for everybody. I got people on Instagram last week on the card over the weekend. This card's terrible. This is the worst UFC card ever. Okay. Then go to the movies. Don't watch it. Nobody's telling you to watch this card. And guess what? The card was awesome. But if you're a fight fan, like I'm a fight fan, you want to see all the fights. Because the one thing that is a fact, you might not be a fan of a certain fight we put on, but the UFC does not put on fights that shouldn't be happening, and fights that aren't good, and with guys that aren't on this trajectory.
Paulo Costa will be here for this fight, Why is he standing right now? He probably will have-
Why is he what?
He's coming for the fight.
Paulo Costa's going to be here for the fight.
Yeah.
So where does he stand in terms of
Oh, he's
fighting for
next.
the title next?
He's next. If he didn't get hurt, this fight would be happening now. But he got hurt, and I respect him, and I respect the fact that he wants to fight. I'm ready. No, you're not. You're not a doctor, okay? And then he got some guy who's his buddy or something that's saying he's okay. No, that's not how this works. I don't want to push him and make him hurt himself again. Take your time. You're getting the fight. That fight's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Right?
He's close though. He's close to being ready to go.
Yeah, is he?
No, Costa is close to being.
Yeah, he is. He's close, but let's take our time. Let him. The more time, the better with that injury. You know, then he starts throwing up videos of himself hitting the mitts and doing all this crazy that he probably shouldn't be doing right now. But he's a freak athlete too, so who knows? I just don't want the guy to get hurt again.
Kevin, last
Dan, when
question.
you look at Romero, we're talking about those losses. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's ever beaten a really elite guy. He's beaten good guys, but not those number 1 and number 2 guys. And you talk, nobody wants to fight him and all these physical things he has going for him. Where is he coming up short in your opinion? Is it just he's getting bad luck because they're close, or is it?
He's beat some elite guys. I mean, he beat Machida when Machida was Machida.
He was still that highly ranked?
Oh, 100%. Machida was still a very dangerous, tough guy to beat, and he was highly ranked when he beat him. You know, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. He's that guy that's like right there, and everybody believed that guy was going to be a world champion, you know? He's getting another opportunity.
I guess what I was maybe asking in a way was, is he an underachiever in any way? For all the physical gifts that he has, is he an underachiever in some sense?
I don't know if I'd call him an underachiever. I don't know. He's a pretty bad dude who has a lot of respect from all the other guys in that division.
He said,
Guy did a backflip and the splits in jeans, you know. And how old is he? I mean, he's a freak. He's a freak athlete.
he did an interview Super Bowl week, and they asked him when he wins the belt, what's the first thing he wants to do? And he said, if you're in the ring, he said he wants to slam you. How do you respond to that?
I don't like that. I think that's a really bad idea. I didn't hear that till just now. He wants to slam me.
He said, I'll slam Dana White.
Yeah. That's no.
It won't happen.
No. I guess if he wanted to slam me, I'm getting slammed. I don't think I'd be able to defend that. But yeah, let's hope
You
not.
want to be advised.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen.